Hi, this is Kathleen Lyon of the American Museum of Science and Energy, and our online book club has just taken off. We began our first live discussion January 29th, and the topic was The Bastard Brigade by Sam Kean. Here are a few snippets from that discussion, and we hope you'll join us next time.
If the planet and the stars had been aligned just right, and Lady Luck wasn't on our side, there's no question in my mind that German scientists would have pursued eventually a bomb. And as Sam Will describes, they had discovered that the plutonium was going to be a better resource and an easier one for them to produce than trying to enrich uranium.
You made me think, when you accumulate the knowledge and you make the breakthroughs, then the question is there any controlling it at that point?
And it was just really fascinating to see how many physicists and scientists were saying, no, don't go the atomic route because of how dangerous this is going to be and hurt so many innocent lives. And it was really eye-opening to see how the human side of the nature of science.
Yeah.
The Germans had beat us to, starting up the program and doing the research. But as Sam continues to tell us, they were 2 years ahead of us before we really got engaged. It's amazing that the Germans did as much as they did under constant bombing and destruction of their infrastructure and their power and their water and all of that. Had that not occurred, had England not, stuck with it and we hadn't come to England's rescue, God only knows what could have happened.
Norm and Alan are history buffs, and they're keeping us on track and making sure we don't go too far afield in our assessments of these characters and the situations. So thank you for your expertise as you read this book or listened to the interviews. Did you just listen to it and think, what were they thinking? I mean, who does this? Which one really just made your jaw drop?
Joe Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, that was, as Norm, I think, said earlier, I had no idea that's how he died. Just insane. I can't believe that was even conceived as a possibility.
Irene Curie's husband had to do all these secret missions, and he was hiding from the Nazis, and he was doing this underground communist with his underground communist group, and he didn't tell Irene anything because he wanted to make sure she didn't get in trouble, or even worse, die if she was interrogated.
One of my favorites was actually Enrico Fermi. I thought he was kind of the antithesis of Heisenberg, in that he was just this jolly guy, and he had scientists running up and down the halls with the discoveries. It's like he wasn't just doing science, he was making it fun. He had people running out to the pond to get pond water, to do experiments with, and he was just on his lunch break coming up with an understanding of neutron moderator material. I mean, he was presented as being brilliant and fun and just the life of the party. And so he was a really interesting foil to Heisenberg.
I'm uncertain about Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I got that. The uncertainty principle. Thank you.
I'm here all week.
I know the distances and I know the topography of Germany. And to get from the Berlin or the northern areas of Germany down to the Black Forest and all of that, when you got Parsh and Berg running around in Jeeps, trying to move, and get people quickly in to kidnap people and to grab this stuff, it's mind-boggling that they were able to do that.
Yeah.
Because the infrastructure in Germany at that point in time in 1945 was destroyed.
Because I had no idea Grove's portfolio included this kind of thing. I'm still learning this. So I had so much on Grove's in Oak Ridge and in the U.S., but nothing about his role in Europe. So that was very interesting.
Bohr, he was a hoot. That's all I have to say. That was one of the comic relief moments in the book, was the stories about trying to keep Niels Bohr out of the hands of the Gestapo.
Another character, I couldn't help but smile, but he also just seemed so crazy to me. His name, Mad Jack.
Yeah.
he just seemed so like carefree. He just did things on his own timetable, and I'm just like, okay, there are 2 scientists that need to get aboard, and they need to bring the uranium, or was it radium, and they need to make sure it didn't get into the wrong hands. And I just was like, hurry up, let's go.
You've kind of put this thing together and ran with it. This discussion has been so interesting, listening to the different people and the way how they talked about the book, but it's not something we're not used to hearing. Every time we have the 2 volunteers or 3 volunteers get together, you have these same kind of discussions, and they're fabulous to listen to. Norm, we've got to get some more of these volunteers on this book club.
The people who are in a club like this would be lifelong learners who we want to read things that we don't already know, that we want to learn new things. Tell people not to be afraid. They don't have to know everything about science or about history to play a part.
And thank you, Kathleen, and thank you for everybody on here today.